Hello, people. So, the dark and gritty world of Batman has given us many terrifying villains, but few are as bone-chilling as the Scarecrow. His weapon of choice is not a gun. It's not a bomb. It's fear toxin. It's a hallucinogenic gas that plunges victims into their worst nightmares, making them believe that their greatest terrors are real, forcing them to relive trauma or face unimaginable horrors. It sounds like pure fiction, but what if it wasn't? What if there was a fear toxin? What if science, or even nature, held the keys to creating a substance that could, in some form, induce intense paralyzing fear? Let's start with the chemical path to fear. Our understanding of fear is deeply rooted in our brain's chemistry. Could we manipulate this chemistry to create a real fear toxin? Let's look at a few potential candidates from the scientific and natural worlds. First up, B-carbolines. These compounds are found in various plants and animals. They're known to be inverse agonists at benzodiazepine receptors. While drugs like Valium and Xanax reduce anxiety by enhancing the effects of the neurotransmitter GABA, a B-carboline could potentially block these effects, leading to a surge in anxiety and potentially panic. Imagine being unable to calm down. Your brain's natural brakes are on anxiety, but they're disengaged. While not a direct hallucination-inducing agent, it could create a profound sense of impending doom and dread, a fundamental element of fear, basically. Next, let's consider the chemical agents that can trigger a severe panic response. One such candidate is a CCK4 agonist. This synthetic compound, when administered, has been shown in human studies to induce intense, real panic, complete with physical symptoms like a racing heart, difficulty breathing, and an overwhelming fear and lack of control. A potent aerosolized version could, in theory, cause a localized panic event, paralyzing individuals with dread. Again, not fear in the hallucinogenic sense, but powerful, physically debilitating surge of dread. Now, let's move on to hallucinations. Scarecrow's toxin isn't just about panic. It's about vivid, personalized hallucinations that prey on existing fears, past trauma. At this point, to a whole different category of substances. Let's discuss delirants, a class of hallucinogens that cause profound delirium, confusion, and terrifying realistic hallucinations. Unlike other hallucinations that might produce colorful patterns or a sense of interconnectedness, derailments can cause you to go into a full-on waking nightmare. For example, tropane alkaloids found in plants like datura or Jimson weed and belladonna or deadly nightshade can have potent delirant effects. These alkaloids, primarily atropine and scopolamine. They block the effects of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter crucial for memory and attention. The resulting state can be characterized by intense hallucinations, where you might interact with non-existent people, objects, or creatures, often with a deeply disturbing or frightening nature. Users frequently report being unable to distinguish the hallucination from reality. A key component of the scarecrow effect, the trip, can be terrifying and confusing, and it can last a very long-ass time. Then there's ergot. This fungus grows on grains like rye. It produces alkaloids that can cause a condition known as ergotism, or St. Anthony's fire. While historically associated with physical symptoms like gangrene, convulsive ergotism, and they can also produce vivid hallucinations, mania, delirium. The powerful hallucinogen LSD was famously synthesized from ergot alkaloids. While these natural and synthetic substances can induce a profound fear and realistic hallucinations, none of them perfectly replicate the comic book fear toxin. Ergotism is a slow process. Datura is an incredibly toxic and unpredictable process. And CCK4 causes a panic response without personalized visual components. The concept of a gas that acts instantly induces specific hallucinatory fears and then wears off without permanent damage is highly fictionalized and scientifically implausible based on our current knowledge. So, a single magical fear toxin chemical is unlikely. But there could be other, more complex approaches or even psychological methods that could achieve a similar end. Let's briefly touch upon the controversial and often purely speculative area of non-lethal weapons and psychotronic devices. The concept of using infrasound, which is sound waves at a frequency too low to hear, to induce a sense of dread or discomfort, has been explored through its effectiveness as a localized weapon. It is highly debatable. Some research suggests high-intensity infrasound can cause vibrations of internal organs and a feeling of fear and anxiety, but it wouldn't create the personalized visual nightmares of the Scarecrow's toxin. Then there's mass hysteria and psychological manipulation. Could a combination of psychological priming, suggestive messaging, and a release of a substance that simply causes confusion and dizziness be used to trigger a mass panic event? While not a toxin in the chemical sense, this is kind of coordinated and could potentially lead to people experiencing a form of collective fear and even mild hallucinations, as seen in many historical cases of mass psychogenic illness. So, let's get down to the real conclusion. Is this a comic book nightmare with a grain of truth? So, could there be real-life fear toxin? Is the main question we have here. The answer is a qualified no. A single substance cannot instantly and precisely manifest our deepest, darkest fears as realistic hallucinations. Only in the realm of fiction. However, the elements are real. Powerful panic-inducing chemicals, substances that cause terrifying and realistic delusions, and a deep, complex brain chemistry that controls our most powerful emotion. The Scarecrow's fear toxin is a terrifying symbol because it taps into universal human vulnerability, our own minds. It serves as a stark reminder that while the gas might be fantasy, the power of fear to manipulate, paralyze, and destroy is very, very real. Thank you for watching. That's pretty much all I had today. See ya.